Hello. How you doing? Hey, Dennis. Hey, Graham. How you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you. Where in the world are you?
I am in far away.
Amazing.
I'm in a little island next to Tahiti.
Wow. Super cool.
Yeah. And I have really bad lighting and it's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. That is dedication, my friend. Well, the lighting looks excellent. So you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
5
It's
a.m. So did you get up?
What'd you say?
Amazing. Did you get up especially at 5 a.m. or are you a normally a more morning person?
Yeah, I always get up. Well, I don't usually like get up, but there's a difference between waking up and getting up.
Fair enough. Amazing. Well, great to have you here. Hey,
Yeah.
Graham.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Very good. Good stuff. And Graham, where are you today?
I'm in north of Scotland, in the very north of Scotland.
Excellent. Great stuff. Well, very good. You've been on one of these calls before.
About 3 weeks ago.
Excellent. I do recall. I remember you had an amazing garden. Anyway, great to have you here. So I'm interested to see, and then hey Sue, hey Kim. Nice to have you guys here. So I'm interested to see. I always like to start with these sessions. Some people will arrive. Some people will look at the recordings. But seeing as you guys are here, I want to just find out. I'm always interested to see. When I put a piece of content like or a session like this out, what is it that's like? If you were to, if I was to deliver something of amazing value to you today, what would you get? Like, what was the thing that you were looking to understand or looking to get when you signed up today, like in terms of what you do or where you are at the moment? So, Dennis, we'll start with you.
Well, I was just what was it today? The setting up winning offers or
Yeah, how to create offers so good that people want to buy.
yeah, I mean, well, it's just expanded education. I always love to learn, and I don't yet know everything, so it's always good to get other people's points of view.
Amazing. And what is it that you do? What are you doing at the moment?
I'm a coach.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Specific type of coach? Like, what kind of clients are you working with?
So I do a lot of addiction recovery, and
Okay.
that's my background. Yeah, and that's been my background for a long time, and so yeah, it's just trying to find the right way to reach more people and help more people.
Amazing. Good stuff. And Graham, LinkedIn tells me you're a Ziegler coach, and I didn't get you ask you last time what exactly type of clients, what is it that you're interested in specifically around the offer today?
Well, I looked up Russell Brunson and bought his books.
Okay, excellent.
Trying to encourage me to become a diamond member or whatever.
Oh, of course he does. His funnels are amazing.
I don't think I need that. I mean, I kind of struggle with the funnel situation because I don't see it as very personal.
Yeah.
I mean, all I really want to do, I'm a coach, and all I really want is 8 clients per year. That's all. So I don't need to reach out to a huge number, but I like to understand what it is that everyone else is, so the Ted McGraths of this world or the Brendan Burchard or whoever, what are they doing? and who's climbing to the top of the heap with it. But, you know, or Marisa Margatroyd, or even Tilly Davis. I mean, I really struggle because they don't really get, for me, a real genuine connection with people, because it's just a numbers game, whereas mine's isn't a numbers game. But I want to understand as to what people want. Do they have to throw so many darts at a dartboard for one of them to stick? You know, because the whole thing for me is it's targeting, it's really getting to know somebody. And you know, so in one sense, I'm trying to appreciate and value, because there's a lot of people doing what you're doing, or the funnel system, but I kind of don't know many small independent coaches who have a lot of success at it.
Got you. Fantastic question. And I think when we talk about the offer today, and that gives me a great context to be able to look and be able to share, you know, my take on this. Because can you guys see my screen? Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. So there we go. So we're all in the right place about creating offers. I mean, just a little bit about me. I've done, created my first business in 2000, quite by accident, in the IT space. At the ripe age of 20, decided, yay, businesses is easy, and immediately created another 4 in all sorts of completely disconnected spaces, and then managed to trash and destroy all of them, which was a great learning experience. And then kind of put them all to, you know, that learning experience enabled me to start re-putting, building back better, understanding things like, I said, what is the life I want to live and the kind of business I want to have. I wanted, something with no stock, no staff. I want to be able to work from anywhere in the planet. So I have that now in the digital marketing space, be able to do that. But I have 2 parts of my business. There's I've worked with more than 450 different businesses variously because I didn't understand this thing about offers, right? And I got really good at the digital marketing side, the technical side of digital marketing. But especially during COVID and the lockdown, I mean, it's really given me opportunity to really think about what it is that I'm doing. Like, why am I here? And the reason I love to work with coaches now, coaches, expert businesses, is because I believe that you guys have a specific role in terms of moving the planet forward right now. Is that there's a lot of change out there, and a lot of people need guidance. And I've sold lots of software, digital software and business to business financial services stuff, but it didn't really feed my soul. So specifically, during the past couple of years, and especially during COVID, did this very profound meditation on purpose, and the voice sort of said to me, weaponize the light bringers. Right? They've got this very clear mission to understand the people that are trying to make the world a better place, through sharing of their gifts, specifically coaches, consultants, experts, change makers, and be able to look at how to make that happen more consistently. So over the past 2 years specifically, I've focused very deliberately on the coaching space. I've just recently finished my NLP accreditation, not because I specifically want to be a coach, but to understand the ecosystem. For me, it's really, if I go into an area, it's full immersion. So that's enough about me. So let's talk a little bit about just the framework for offers. Graham, I'm glad you brought up funnels. Because you can't shake a stick in digital marketing without someone talking about a funnel. And I want to just reframe that a little bit. And what I prefer to think about is a bridge. Okay. Because funnels is very technical. It's about throwing lots of people in the front and hopefully money comes out at the bottom. Now, funnels is a great intellectual construct, but it is designed for high volume, right? It's designed for thinking about how do we throw lots of people in the front and lots of people on the top, and some clients come on, money comes out the bottom. But it's, as Graham was saying, it's a little bit impersonal. And also in the coaching space, depending on where you are in your evolution, there's lots of different ways of doing coaching. Right, so you can see there's the delivery side over there. You can either do one-to-one, you can do group, you can do blended, or you can do digital, or you can do a combination of those. And if you deconstruct the Russell Brunsons, the Brendan Burchards, the Tony Robbins, all of them started high value one-to-one, high value, low volume one-to-one. That's where they started. Even Russell Brunson himself started out. I mean, he started out selling potato guns because he couldn't afford. He wasn't allowed to make money from professional wrestling. He wasn't allowed to have a job because he had a professional wrestling grant. So he ended up selling potato guns on the internet, and he learned how to build system, a marketing funnel selling potato guns on the internet. But what we now know as ClickFunnels and that whole funnel system started out as him working one-to-one with very specific businesses, building custom solutions for them. From one-to-one, if you start to see the patterns within that, you might decide to create a group program to help more of the people of the same type experience that transformation. And from there is the opportunity to create digital assets or infrastructure that allows people to get where they want to go without you being involved with them personally. And that's where you have your blended infrastructure, your blended systems. And then ultimately you might want to create digital tools where the entire process happens digitally without you. Maybe you have some software, maybe you have courses, maybe you have something like that. So that's the evolution of a coaching business or expert business. Now, not everyone wants to do the whole, digital empire thing. I have coaches that I work with that are quite happy doing one-to-one. Whereas I have others that works in the sports nutrition space that are doing group coaching. There's no right or wrong here, but it's more like a choose your own adventure. And how do we build this in such a way that it's going to work best for you? So the reason I like a bridge better than a funnel is that you're really building a process just to help people get from where they are to where they want to be. And there's a few different steps. One is that, they need some way of them finding out who you are. Okay. There's lots of ways of doing that. You could do networking, you could do billboard advertising, you could do cold calling. There's lots of ways of doing it, but you need at least one so people who don't know who you are can find out who you are. Once they found out who you are, at least one thing that allows them to find out a bit more about what you do. Oh, I'm interested in finding a bit more about what you do. It could be a one-to-one conversation. It could be a website, could be a video, could be a downloaded course, could be an email sequence, could be a webinar. You guys are in my consideration process at the moment, learning more about me. I'm learning more about you guys, kind of figuring out who is this John guy. Okay. What is this loon I found on LinkedIn, talking about offers and stuff. Okay, so that's consideration. It's about warming up and about getting to know people, but that's that step. The next sort of building block is some kind of decision process where someone can say, yep, I'm taking action. I want to work with this person. Here is some money. That could be a sales call. It could be a landing page. If it's digital, it could be, Stripe checkout thing on a page. It could be lots of different ways of doing it. But again, you need at least one in order to get to that. And then your delivery process is, there's lots of ways of doing it, but you need at least one. And the reason I like the bridge analogy is like a bridge. If you have at least one slat across each one of those four things, you've got a path and people can move from left to right. Now you've got a business and you're making money. But if any one piece of those things is missing, then people fall off and it looks like the whole thing is not working. Make sense? Hey, Eileen. Okay, so that's why I like.
Hi, sorry, I was late. Technical problems. Carry on.
No worries. You're on time as always. The universe has a plan for all of us, and you're here exactly where you need to be. So that's why I like a bridge instead of a funnel, because it's more like an act of service rather than an act of manipulation. Because what we're trying to do ultimately as coaches, as consultants, as expert businesses is help people get where they want to go, not so much do what you want, like I want to like do my thing. I mean, it took me a while to realize nobody actually wants digital marketing, right? Nobody actually wants another digital, another thing to do or another platform to master or another guru saying here's 15 things to do. What you want is the place where you want to go. Maybe you want to live the life you want to live. You want to, have an impact. Maybe you want to, I don't know what you want to do, but it's probably not more digital marketing. Right? Okay. So everything that I do exists, if it's of any use, is a way of helping you get to where you want to go. Okay. So building a bridge, I think is a much kinder analogy, and I think a much more useful way of thinking about building a system to help people get to where they want to go. And this is what I'm doing a lot of at the moment, is building systems like this for people like yourself, so they can have bridges that'll help people find you. Okay, right. And if you want to work with me, I'm happy to do that, but that's not why we're here today. What we're here to do today is how to create offers so good that people want to buy. Now, as Graham has been in one of these sessions before, I love to do kind of recommended reading. The best book I found on understanding the offer is a book called $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy. Really brilliant book of kind of dissecting what exactly, what the hell do you actually mean by an offer? And what is this thing? And so what I'm going to share with you is kind of my take on his process, and what I think are the elements of what makes a great offer. And practically, how do we put this specifically from an expert business point of view? Okay. Okay, so you guys ready for this? You ready to find out how to make amazing offers? Good stuff. All right, so I'm going to basically take 6 elements, and I want you to think about, kind of imagine you've got a dial, we've got like a hob, with different gas plates, and I want you to imagine that there's like sort of 6 dials that you can do, and the higher you can set the settings, the hotter your offer is going to be. Right. So optimizing your offer is about just tweaking, based on where you're at, tweaking these dials a little bit to just make each one a little bit warmer. Okay. And you don't have to do it all at once, but I'm going to give you an idea of just how we sharpen up your offer or make it a little bit warmer than it is. Now, again, this is the whole book. We could spend quite a lot of time doing this, but I want to give you the sort of clip notes so that we can get some value and you can start moving towards what you want to do. Because your offer really, and this is like the kind of how to change the world mission, right? This is the quest that I put before you guys to say, when you started out, maybe you're going to change the world just a little bit for the people that you want to help. That there's a certain number of, certain specific group of people out there that are specifically attuned to being helped by you. Okay, that there's a certain amount of people, and have you consider that there's a specific percentage of the population that are going to love working with you almost from the moment that they meet you. And it's your mission to find those people and lead them to where they want to go. There's a few key transformations here. One is just for them not knowing where to turn, give them a clear path. Them only finding generic advice, give them a specific roadmap to solving their problems. From kind of not solving their problems to give them a rhythm and making it a habit. And if they're from them feeling like they're the only people that have the problem, help them feel like there's a community around there. Okay, and this is the kind of audience shift. To me, your marketing system or whatever it is when it's working, this is what it's doing, is you're serving your audience to be able to create this transformation. Okay. Right, so it all starts with target market, right, which is the first lever or the first little dial on your offer, right? So raise your hand if you've heard about somebody talking about your niche before. The riches are in the niches.
Yes. Or niche, as the Americans say.
Niche, niche, target market.
I
all of
prefer
them.
niche because I think it is a
Niche.
French word.
Niche. Yes, I like the way it sounds as well. Niche sounds too much like itch. But I'll give you guys a little bit of a thought experiment here. All right, give you kind of my own take on this. I mean, I've done a whole presentation. I do one of these about once every 2 weeks on different aspects of this. I did a whole one. I mean, I'm absolutely like fanatic about choosing your target market because everything else flows from there. Because if you think about, if you're building a bridge, who are you building it for? And if you're clear on that, you can build a bridge, you can get those reusable components. You start to see the patterns on working with those individual people, which then allows you to create reusable components and reusable assets that help those people get there faster. Very difficult to build a bridge if you keep changing who it's for or where it is. And we end up kind of moving all over the place. Now, I'm not saying that when you choose a target market or choose a niche, you have to choose that and stick with it forever. It's not about taking your business and saying, I'm only going to work with these people, but it is about niching your marketing and your positioning so that it becomes easier for people to say, cool, that's my person. Right. And I'll give you guys, so should we do a little thought experiment? Yeah, and the other thing weirdly is when the more specific you are, the more perceived, the greater the perceived value. All right. So let's do a little thought experiment here. If I had to say to you, I have a time management course available for you. Okay. I'm sure like a figure comes to mind about how much you would invest in the time management course. Okay. You don't have to tell me what it is, but just hold it in your mind. How much would you pay for a time management course? Now, I have another time management course here, and this time management course is for busy professionals. Okay. Now, did that amount in your mind go up or down?
It went up.
Crazy, right? Okay. Like you don't know anything about it. All right. Okay. I mean, if I say I have a time management course for busy, high value, for busy, high ticket coaches. Okay. Did the price go up or down? Okay, it went up. All right. Crazy, right? Okay, and you can play this game all day. Like the more specific, if I say, like I have a time management course, it's for, recovery coaches living in an island off Haiti. Right. Okay, how much would you pay for that course? All right, probably quite a bit if you're Dennis. Maybe not so much if you're Eileen.
But going back to this thing about trying to serve your purpose, and it's not purely financial or monetary. And I can't remember the chap's name from Tahiti, but working in recovery, I'm sure a lot of that is the benefits are social. They're not necessarily monetary. It's not a high ticket item. It's actually should be made available to as many people as possible for as low a price as possible. And similarly with the courses or the coaching that I do, I'm supposed to charge a certain amount, but I find that people who really need my course can't afford it. So I am doing a lot of pro bono work. And so I suppose that's one of the things, the target market. Yeah, I totally agree that the more specific, the more it's related to health or wealth or something else, it attracts a premium. But the stuff that really does matter in life, actually, we should be trying to get the price down. But that's just a personal view.
I mean, you're opening a whole new discussion over there, which I'm very keen to is that you're right, right? In both sense. One, that commanding a premium being more focused allows you to command a premium. On the other hand, I do believe that we should help as many people as we can. But this perspective I invite you to consider is that there are two different missions. Okay. For a long time, I tried to be personally financially abundant by helping people that didn't have any money. This was an ineffective strategy. Right?
Okay.
Okay. We tried, but this is very hard. So this is just, the perspective I invite you to consider. This is where it helped me, is that it's two different missions. Okay. Is that there are people that have money, and this is like a crazy thing. People that have money, people that don't have money value money, right? People that have money, what do you think people that have money value?
Time.
Exactly. Okay. They want to invest the money in getting to where they want to go faster. Right. People want the people that have money. So this is why, especially from the coaching perspective, is that and invite you to consider that as a perspective, that your high value, your one-to-one, you have an aspect of your business that is insanely lucrative, where you're helping people that have money get other things in exchange for the money, and you have a different part of your business that you're then able to help at scale without the expectation of financial reward.
Yeah. Okay.
Two different missions.
No, that's a good point. Well made.
Yeah, because I think, to the extent that we're personally abundant, we can help more people. But again, we start getting to target market, it's two different things. And this is why the first aspect of your offer is your target market. Everything else is, who is this offer for? Elena, so you come off mute, you come off, you have a question.
I was just going to say, Graham, is it, and again, this is maybe for conversation for another time, I absolutely agree with where you're coming from, and I get where you're coming from, and I think just by the very nature of what we do, sounds like you're coach consultant type person as well, that we're kind of hardwired to help people. But I wonder if it's worth doing it still having a very, very small value on what you do, because that then puts a value on it, if you see what I'm saying. So do you have different rate cards depending on who it is you're working with? I'm sure you've thought about that. That's what jumped into my head at that time, because I do, there's a corporate rate for sure, and there's a SME rate, and then there's I maybe restrict myself to doing only 1 hour or 2 hours a month completely pro bono, and the rest is and I have only so much time I give to the different rates, if you like.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's a way to try and, but then this comes down to target market again, that John was saying, if your target market is corporates, then you're going to have a certain price range. If it's actually to help companies thrive, one company at a time, then you're going to have, within that, you're going to have different personas.
Good points. Yeah.
Sorry if it's a granny sucking eggs kind of thing. It's just what jumped into my head when you were talking. So
no, I do agree that actually there's a value to everything, and that if there's no perceived value, then people will not be committed. So even the pro bono, there needs to be an investment, because you invest in your time and you want them to actually take action, and they're more likely to take action if it's cost them something. Yeah. However,
and I love that. I call it pro bono as well. I never call it free, because pro bono, again, it's obvious that you are then giving something and not looking for a monetary reward. So yeah. Cool. Sorry, John.
Excellent. No, all good. It's just part of my joy is to create the community and to say, like, let's all get together because we can go faster together. We can go further together. That's the African problem. If you want to go far, go together. But I think, it's that whole community thing, is that we're all kind of, struggling with different similar things. But again, you're starting to see, hopefully, like, this is one of the first times I've had one of these that it's 3 coaches, which means my marketing is working. Right. But yeah, target market, you start to see these recurring themes. So when you're creating your offer, your target market is the foundational piece. Now, you might have multiple offers, but I think kind of what you guys are alluding to is that you might have one offer, which is for people that have a high disposable income in order to solve this problem. And then you have another offer for people that have a lower disposable income. Doesn't mean both can't be profitable, and that's our invitation to be, use our ingenuity. You can still profitably deliver those solutions in such a way that that it all balances out. And I think that is, like, to me, the exciting part of this whole thing is that using these different elements of value, you can start to think about how do we construct an offer that is great value but is also profitable. So your target market is the first element of that. Okay. Now, the second element of that, of the offer, is for your target market, what is their desired outcome? Okay. So again, I'm going to give you guys a little thought experiment over here. So I asked you guys earlier, like, why are you here? In this event, what are you trying to figure out? And got a range of different answers. You're interested in finding out more about the subject matter. You're interested in finding more about what are these funnels, and what does the marketing landscape look like for coaches? Okay, so I'm going to give you guys an example. So at this point, if I had to offer to work with you based on that understanding of desired outcome, we would get a certain monetary value. Okay, so if you think about it from like a distance perspective, right? So if here's point one is your target market's current state, and here's the desired outcome. If you can expand that distance, it increases the perceived value. Does that make sense? Okay. Right. So do you guys want to do a quick experiment? Do you want to go on a journey with me? Okay. All right. So what is the date today? It is the 20-something. Let's just say it's the end of August, right? And it's 2020, right? So let's imagine that it's 31st of August 2023, right? And let's imagine that we're all on a Zoom call again, right? End of August 2023, okay? But we're not in the same place we're at right now, okay? We're all in what we're doing is we all have a glass of champagne, okay? And it's a Bollinger, all right? and behind us is, in each of our Zoom rooms is like the some of your memorabilia from the last year, okay? And the last year has been the most amazing year of your life. Okay? Your marketing efforts have gone smashingly, right? You've been able to acquire clients more consistently than you've ever been able to, at a higher price point than you've ever been able to, right? All of your plans have gone according to plan. And it's the end of August, and we're looking back and we're reconvening now based on a year of working together, and it's just been gone like amazingly. Like your wildest dreams have come true, and we've all got a glass of the champagne in our hand, and we're going through what we're celebrating. Okay, so let's imagine that you've had the year of your life. It's the end of August, and you're looking back on a year well lived. Graham, what are we celebrating?
Oh, am I mute? No,
you're not.
We're celebrating probably more in my personal life rather than in my professional life. Just
great. What are we celebrating?
We're just celebrating better connections, better relationships, less conflict, improved understanding. That's what I'm looking for in my immediate family, etc.
Okay, amazing. Aileen, what are we celebrating?
So I'm going to go with the professional life. Just to give you context, I'm starting, this is, my kids are a little bit older, so I'm coming back at this, so I'm restarting career proper, as it were. So in a year's time, I'm going to have a career as opposed to having a job, which is very, very different. I'm going to have a career. I'm going to be, and I'm going to be celebrating that I've just completed my first speaking tour on my specific subject.
So you've
Which
just
is?
come back from your first speaking tour. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
Sorry?
What Graham was asking, what is your subject?
So my my subject is the broad thing is sort of strategy, leadership, etc. But it will be around conscious leadership as a competitive edge.
Fantastic.
Because I'm a commercial director at heart, but I just believe there's a different way to do business and still be commercially successful. I'm incredibly driven to be commercially successful, but don't want to step over my granny to get there. So, as they say in where I'm from.
I love it. So in the back of Aileen's background and of her Zoom call, there's all the suitcases that have just come back off the airplane,
Yes.
and you've just come off the plane and to successfully completed speaking tour. Amazing. Dennis, what are we celebrating?
Speaking tour, and I know exactly. I mean, that speaking tour is I was at business schools, I was at universities, as well as being in businesses. So, you know, very specifically, but yeah, people that are on their own entrepreneurship journey who are looking to hear of people that have done it and failed and done it and succeeded, you know. So
love it.
It's not quite a year with Oprah, but you know.
I got to spend 2 weeks with Oprah once. That was quite an experience. I'll maybe talk about that. But yeah, she's the real deal, no doubt.
Yeah.
Amazing. Graham, I invite you to consider just, you know, those you know, the decreased stress, the increased relationships, is to conjure a scene that implies that has happened. Maybe it's a family holiday that's just been completed. Maybe, I don't know, you know, like something that implies that those things are now in place, like an adventure that's just been completed or something. You don't have to tell me what it is, but I invite you to just conjure a scene that implies that it's happened.
Okay.
Dennis, it's 12 months from now. What are we celebrating?
I'm gonna listen. I'm just gonna listen along.
All right, that's fine. Good stuff. Perfect. All right. But I'm going to focus just on, in terms of desired outcome, and just understand this vector, is that you see, if I was talking to Aileen now and talking about a plan and a roadmap, and about if I was going to position anything else, like whatever, like I think I'm going to be doing, if I position that as helping Aileen get to that scene, 12 months from now, coming back to that road trip, do you see how it's automatically a much more compelling, anything I say after that's going to have a lot more juice, because I'm speaking to that desired outcome rather than just saying, I'm going to help you post stuff on LinkedIn, right? It's not about the funnel. It's not about the technology. It's about the trip. It's about getting back, dropping the suitcases down and going, hell yeah. Where's next? Okay, I don't know what next is, but you see that it's a completely different energy to it. It's not about me. It's not about the tech. It's not about, and I invite you guys to consider as well, in terms of your offer, is it's not about the coaching as much as it is the destination.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's about your audience's desired outcome, and it's going to be completely different. You've seen 3 different people. Marnell's just put in here that she's saying, completed her master's, get through this, get my daughter to sleep through the night. Well, I mean, completing a master's with a newborn, like epic. Sign up massive corporate wellness services. Amazing. So that's the destination. All right. So for Graham, yourself, I mean, you're a lot more personally motivated. It's about, coming back from the trip or whatever the case might be. But so it's about the outcome and about their desire. So that's lever number 2. So you remember back on our hot plate, dial number 2, desired outcome. Okay, and you've seen how this increasing the gap between where they are and where they want to be is the second effort about your offer. So if you had to start putting this in a statement, you can start saying, I help target market achieve desired outcome. And you only get to the stuff from talking to people. You can't, very difficult to create this stuff in a vacuum. But having conversations with your target market, and this is why if you have an idea about who it is you want to serve, you start to see these patterns. Here, this is where I am, this is where I want to be. Okay, makes sense? We're clear on number 2.
Yep.
Lever number 2 or dial number 2. All right, excellent. We're going to start. I think we're probably running at this stage, running slightly behind time. I don't want to shortchange you in terms of content, but are you guys okay if we go like maybe 5 minutes over?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So third lever is perceived likelihood of success. Okay. Now the keyword here is perceived likelihood of success, because you might know that your coaching or your process works, but the compellingness of the offer is to what extent you're able to transmit that to your prospect. Okay. So again, do you want to do a little exercise? So if you had to think about from where you are now, and you think about that 12-month horizon, coming back for Aileen, it's the trip. Okay, for Marnell, it's the master's complete. Dennis, do you have a scene in your mind? Okay, that's cool. It's not important that I know it; it's important that you know it. Fantastic. All right. So what I want you to is if you have a piece of paper, you can just put a dot over there and a dot over there. You don't have to see the dot. I'm pretty sure that's blurry. Why is it blurry? Zoom doing weird things. All right. But at the bottom, I want you to just write out all the things that are in the way. Okay. Like, why has that not happened yet? And feel free to just have a rant about all the problems, like, whether it be the government, the economy, I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough qualifications, or I don't know what it is. I find a lot of my reasons for not having things are between my ears. Like, it's but all of those things, again, just write out all the perceived problems in terms of why you don't have those things yet. Less blurry now, so, but just across the bottom here. Like, what are all the roadblocks, all the obstacles in the way? You guys like 30 more seconds. Okay. Cool. Anyone want to share 1 or 2 of their obstacles? Okay, Ellie, go for it.
So I put one of us has to be here to put the washing on. What I mean is, I have a family, so, kids are not quite old enough to completely fend for themselves. Not enough traction yet, not enough of a high profile. And to be blunt, I haven't actually tried to organize it. I'm waiting on people coming to me. So I need to flip that around and go and approach people and say, I'd like to come and speak at your venue, and this is what I'd like to talk about.
Got you. Fantastic. Right. So what you've got basically is at the bottom over here is all of the challenges that are on the way, and this is something you can do with your prospects as well. Is understanding your market and understanding what their challenges are, right? Because perceived likelihood of success leads into the next factor, which is time delay, right? Now, which is also connected to effort and sacrifice, right? What is it going to take for them to be able to get there? So perceived likelihood of success, time delay, and effort and sacrifice comes down to how quickly and easily and effectively you can help people overcome those obstacles. Okay, right. So you can do this exercise with, you can do it in your mind. You can do it in some of the sales frameworks that I teach. It's not about selling anyone anything, but about eliciting where they are, where they want to be, and what those obstacles are, so that you can then start using your coaching, your programs, your experience to start to put solutions in place. What are the things that you can do using your ingenuity to be able to help them overcome these obstacles? Right? And to the extent that you can do that, that is what influences the perceived likelihood of success. Is, do you understand what those things are? First and foremost, probably most importantly, is, do you understand what they are? Like, do you understand what I'm going through? How can you help me if you don't understand what I'm going through? Do you understand what I'm going through? And then if you can understand what I'm going through, you can communicate the solutions and the journey and the roadmap in such a way that you can help them get to where they want to go faster, with more certainty, and with a diminished effort and sacrifice from themselves. Okay. So consider this. If exercise is free, why does liposuction cost $30,000? Okay. Because if you want to lose, if the objective is to lose weight, you got a couple of options. You can either exercise and you can eat well, doesn't cost any money other than the food, or you can go to sleep today and wake up tomorrow 30 pounds lighter. I don't know what the metric system is. I don't know if you can realistically take 30 pounds of fat out of a human. Probably like a few kilograms, but I don't understand pounds. Only just got to the UK. But you get where I'm going with that. Is that the reason that that costs a lot more is because of there's a delayed effort and sacrifice, and there's an increased speed. Okay, but all of those things, there's not a magic wand here. It's about using your ingenuity to understand for your target market where they want to go, what's in the way, and then communicate the roadmap. And there's three categories of problems around their roadmap. Specifically, and as we connect this to your offer, it's what are the problems that they have before working with you? What are the problems that they're going to have during working with you? Once you start working with them. Okay. And then for bonus points, what are the problems that they're going to have afterwards? Okay. Crazy notion, right? Because there's going to be a next step, right? So one of the things, yes, I do marketing stuff. One of the problems that people have when they first start working with me is they have to slow down and do a bunch of non-obvious stuff, which doesn't in any way directly create revenue, but is absolutely essential to the creation of revenue. Okay, so I have to manage that process, and I have to have ways and ways of navigating that process and making it go as fast as possible while taking as little time as possible. Okay. And then there's another problem was after people start working with me for a while, they have this other problem, which is wow, I suddenly have a lot of inquiries and a lot of people that I need to start talking to. Right? How do I manage all of that? You know, I have too many clients now. How do I create a group program? Right, that's sort of the next level. And yes, there's now a solution for that. And there's the additional products that can be created off the back of that. But understanding that journey of being able to be able to explain the journey is how we turn the dial of time, delay, effort, and sacrifice of you know, perceived likelihood of success, time, delay, effort, and sacrifice. Making sense? Going a little bit faster because I want us to finish on time here. Okay. So it's all about communicating these solutions. Now, so when you're putting together your offer, you can put together all of the solutions that you can provide. And then the next level, so when you start thinking about, once you provided the solutions, is to brainstorm in terms of delivery mechanisms. How do you actually provide the solution? Now, if you're doing a high value one-to-one coaching, often the solution is I'll sit with you and we'll do it together. Right? I'll come to your house and I'll make sure you do the things. I'll work with you together. Right? And that's your high value one-to-one. But if you want to start scaling it, and even if you are working one-to-one, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the only way to do it. Right? So you can start to think about different ways of solving that. So there's ways of going, you know, do you do it in person or do you do it recorded? Can you do it recorded? If it's recorded, you do it video. It could be text. It could be a worksheet. It could be a workbook. It could be a piece of software tool. Maybe there's a software that already exists that can do it. You know, in terms of Aileen wanting to make sure that there's someone to turn the washing on, you know, maybe I can include house care with my offer. I don't know, like this is brainstorming, right? Could be crazy. Maybe I could do it, you know, the gold platinum solution is I'll come and turn your washing on. I'll come and put the washing on. You pay me enough money, you know, we'll fill your webinars and we'll do the washing. Okay, totally crazy.
Sold.
Yeah, that is the power of an amazing offer. Like that is how you
hate laundry anyway. Hours of your life you never get back. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could have planned this better because, and this is the value of doing this, is that there's often stuff that you would not in your wildest dreams think to include in your offer that has crazy high value for your target market. Sometimes completely not to do with what it is that you're doing. You know, like, hey, I'm a coach, I'm a digital marketer, I do digital marketing things. Okay, but I'm now thinking maybe I should, you know, create some kind of strategic relationship with a laundry service or a cleaning company or something like that. You know, crazy. You know, I'm now thinking like, how can we get this done without me having to do it myself? And you think if I had to create you know, a solution based on coaches that said, you know, you work with me and you work with my team. You know, what we also do is, you know, we'll make sure that your house gets cleaned 3 times a day. We give you an au pair, we give you cooked meals. You know, all of that stuff comes free with your coaching. You know, like it comes free with your software subscription. Amazing. Okay, but you see how understanding it's this sort of but you know, understanding what's in the way that starts to give you the insight and that enables you to put the ingenuity in place to be able to create, you know, interesting offers, be able to repackage it in such a way that there's a massively perceived value and believability around that. Okay, so these are okay. So there's then 2 additional bits. The next one to talk about is guarantees. So guarantees is another lever that you can use. Now, there's a number of different types of guarantees you can use. One is like probably the most well-known is like unconditional money-back guarantee. But you can structure it in such a way that if you know, my favorite way of using guarantees is to say, I know that if you want to get from here to here, there are certain elements that you absolutely have to do. Even if I do everything myself, if I do everything right on my side of the fence, there are certain things you absolutely have to do. All right. And I know that if you do those things, you will 100% get to the result. So I can say, here's a unconditional, if you do these things and you don't make at least your money back in the next 6 months, I'll give you your money back. But because I've done the work, I know that if you do those things, there is absolutely no way it won't work. Right. So Marnell is on the call here. She's, has a corporate health and wellness consultancy, right? So she works with people in businesses to help them feel better, lose weight, and generally improve their health and wellness, right? And she's got a great program where she tracks, creates exercise programs and food. And it's like, if you do those things, if you increase exercise and eat better, you will feel better, 100%. Right. So you can guarantee that if you do those things. But the opposite is also 100%. If you don't eat better and you don't exercise more, you will 100% not feel better. Okay. Now, because you've mapped out the roadmap, can you see, are you guys starting to see in your process how you would start to see in the journey, what are the key things that your client would have to do and what are the things you would need to do? And you can start to, with an understanding of that, you can start to create a guarantee that that shifts. And a guarantee is a great way of increasing perceived likelihood of success and reducing perceived risk. Okay, cool. And then the last one I'll talk about is bonuses. Okay, and it's the seventh. I promised you 6. The 7th one is bonuses.
It's a bonus.
Okay, because it's a bonus. Amazing. Okay, so the bonuses are a great way. Now, if you can get all of this stuff right and say, cool, I'm going to work with you for the next 12 months to help your make your wildest dreams come true. Yeah, let's work together for 12 months and we'll make, we'll get to that place. We'll book the trip. There are potentially some resistance that's going to come up. Okay. All right. And again, within your talking to your Graham, I love your dog, by the way. My cat has joined us many times on calls before. With Zoom. Is that bonuses are a great way of dealing with objections before they come up. Okay, so if you have, so it says, I have a objection, like, I do meal plans, but why do I have to, I don't feel like doing all my own shopping. Bonus number 1, we'll give you a subscription service that it delivers the stuff to your house. Okay, directly connected to the offer. So you can address the objections by including them as bonuses. Okay. The other useful thing with bonuses is that, have you guys ever had a situation where you present a solution to someone and they say, okay, here's, I'm going to work with you for this amount of time, you get this amount of hours, you get this amount of things, and this is how much it costs. So then they say, I want that, but not that. Oh, I want this, but not that bit. And they start to try and mishmash the thing. So bonuses are a great way of saying, okay, this is what you're paying for, this thing, and then these are extra bonuses. Because people tend not to try and mess with the bonuses. They're like, oh, they're free. And they're just increasing the perceived value. So on your axis of ways of delivering or solving the problem, you'll find that they'll live on a matrix. There's some that are high cost and high value, like your personal time is high cost, high value. But there's other things that you can create that are low cost, high value. So specifically things like cheat sheets, templates, software you might invest once, but it's high value for them to be able to create this. Okay. So those are great things to include as bonuses. You might bake them into your material, but they might be things that you include as bonuses. Cool. As you can tell, there's quite a lot of detail inside each one of these things. Hopefully that's been useful in terms of just giving you some of these levers that you can use to be able to tweak your offer and create offers that are so brilliant that people just say yes. And hopefully I'm now, once I add a laundry service to my offer, you guys will be like, yay. Amazing. So if there are any questions, so that's kind of the value-based, of the value-based portion of this presentation. It wouldn't be a good presentation on offers if I didn't make you an offer. So there will be an offer shortly. So if you want us, if you're just here for the content, that's totally fine. If you have any questions to ask, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm going to make you an offer.
One question I have: the name of the book, John, was 100 million. What was it?
$100 million offers.
$100 million
offers.
And who was that by?
Alex Hormozi.
Alex Hormozi, right?
Yeah, it's H-O-R.
Hormozi. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
$1 million offers. Yeah, Alex Hormozi. I'll put that in the. I'll put the Amazon link in here. You should get a referral bonus. Cool. So that is there. Boom. All right. Cool. Any other questions on the content piece? All right. Good. All right. You're ready for the offer? I'm feeling no little amount of trepidation here. Like, I've told you how to do an offer. Now we have to do an offer. So the offer, essentially, we've spoken about the bridge, and about how do we build this minimum viable version of your system that's going to help you get to where you want to go. Graham, I'm not sure if it's going to help you heal the wounds of your family.
That was just something I'm working on at the moment, and it's going very well, thank you. But I am running a business as well, so don't worry.
The digital marketing is great, but I understand the limitations as well.
That is limits, indeed.
Fantastic. But in terms of, as you can see, I've understood, I've put a lot of work into understanding the roadmap for a coach and to put these basic building blocks in place to help you go faster and to accelerate the process. So as a coach and digital marketer, when lockdown hit 2 years ago and I needed to build the system for myself that I wanted to rebuild my business, that's what I've been building for the last 2 years, is to basically build that. I've spent a lot of my money and a lot of other people's money building the system to be able to help people go faster. Weirdly, it's based on LinkedIn webinars. It's the exact system that I used to create a £300,000 business in the middle of lockdown. What you'll also get, so I'll give you the framework basically in terms of how to build that bridge. What you'll also get is an onboarding call customized specifically for you. So we can take the system, it's my system. I'm copy pasting it and giving it to you. The exact one that I used. I'll copy paste, you'll get the exact same one, but we'll have a call to actually customize it for your specific market. Right. So the communications, your webinar content will be a little bit different to mine, but part of that, it will personalize it so it works just for you, but also connect it to your email. It can replace your website if that's what you wanted to do. What you'll also get is the complete swipe files for all the webinar promotions that I've done. You can literally just take the same social media plan and modify it for your purposes. And then what you also get is a digital training library with the 4 key courses. I've kind of referred to some of them, LinkedIn outreach. Because some of the challenges I found people have is they go, oh, I don't have a big LinkedIn network. Well, there's one of the courses is how to grow your LinkedIn network really fast. I don't know how to do a webinar. Like, there's a course in there that says how to structure your webinar. The other one is some of the sales processes that I've used, trying to actually close deals without being salesy. One of the courses in there is how to close deals without being salesy. Right. So I could, this whole system, given that it's like the blueprint for £100,000 system, which is like $120,000, I could charge £15,000 for this, and it would still be a bargain. I mean, if all you got was the sales processes and the courses and the onboarding system, like, that would probably be worth it. But because I'm at that stage where I want to create the group process, I want this to go faster. I want to be able to expand my impact there's more bonuses as well. So in addition to the software, I'm also going to give you 12 months access to the software platform that I use. When you looked at building out a group program and building out all the stuff that you need, one of the things that coaches start to realize when you start to implement this digital marketing stuff is you need a lot of software. Right? Us marketers tend to, it's so easy. You just do this thing, you do this marketing. There's actually quite a lot of stuff involved. So what I've done is I've just included all of it. You have 12 months access to it to basically replace all of that nonsense. Your website, your email software, all of that stuff. You get 12 months, like you don't have to worry about it at all. And it's all included. Amazing, huh? Yeah, cool. All this you get the entire system, 12 months of runway to be able to charge towards that ultimate environment that you want to be a part of, that scene that we were conjuring. You have 12 months of a clear runway. I'm going to set you up with a system that I use to achieve this. That's also been validated with more than 20 different coaches as well. And some of them have made, it took me 7 times to to close a deal off this webinar process. The people in my group program are doing it faster than me. Lisa, who's a nutritionist, she sold a $6,500 offer in her second webinar. Right? Yes. And to me, this is that what really makes it exciting for me is unleashing the light bringers. Right. So it's a once-off fee, £2,000, but because you're here, you can get it at 50% off in the next 24 hours. Okay, so and this is absolutely ridiculously crazy low offer. It's not available anywhere. It's only available because you're here. And I can't keep this up forever because I will lose money. But it's live now if you guys want to use it. And if you have any questions about it, obviously I'm happy to stick around. That was the offer. Cool. How was that? Was that an irresistible offer?
Yes, it is. It is a very good offer.
Yes.
Who was it? Marnell said it was a good offer. I thought that one was an even better offer, personally.
That is a great offer.
Amazing.
So
it is.
With that, are you working with us at all, or is that all automated? That $1,000.
So what you'll get is you get access to my group training program, and what happens is we meet twice a week. Okay, so it's once a week on a Tuesday in a group. There's about 4 of us. There's 4 people in the group as well. So we meet every Tuesday for a mastermind, and everyone gets to share. We meditate for 30 minutes. Then everybody connects to their purpose, and we say, this is my purpose. This is what worked for me this week. This is what didn't work for me this week, and this is what I want to help with. And then it's kind of peer supported. Within that, you also get access to my tech, to my team. So Kim and Susan actually work with me. And Kim is the absolute guru at this system. So she handles all the tech support. So you have email support, you have a weekly, group session, but then you also have email access to tech support.
Cool.
Cool.
So, and then how long, so the group classes, so that's twice a week, you said?
Yeah. So once a week is the mastermind.
Right, okay.
So it's an hour.
No,
what
for how many weeks?
It's every week for as long as you stick around.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. So you'll have 12 months access to it. The group coaching, the group, at the moment, if you wanted to get access to just the group, that's $200 a month, £200 a month. It's about $250 a month. But it doesn't include all the bonuses. Well, it doesn't include the setup, the custom setup call. Because it's one of the things we found is that we let the existing guys that are in there, it took them about 4 months to get their head around all of the tech. Whereas what we started adding now is, because I want this to go, I want to make this go global. The more successful coaches I can create, and I don't really mean create, unleash is probably a better word. Is that you guys are already successful. It's just if I can remove the technical complication out of the way, it'll help you go faster. So at the moment, we're testing the onboarding. I mean, this price will go up. But at the moment, what I'm testing is the onboarding process and getting all these things, because we need to get reps through the system. Like I can do this one-to-one. The clients that work with me one-to-one pay, $2,000 to £3,000 a month to do the stuff. But what I'm specifically, I can't scale that. I'm not going to achieve my purpose helping people one at a time. I want to weaponize the light bringers, right? I want to get like lots of successful coaches so you guys can change the world. So that's why the offer is the offer. You get 12 months of access to the group program as well. And at the moment, I mean, it's once a week we do the mastermind. I have the second week, the second slot for tech support, but for a long time nobody used it. But it's there if you need it. So it's there if you need it. It's just the last couple of months no one's needed it because they're off for selling stuff. But essentially those are the two. You have two, so you have twice a week that you can check in and get face-to-face help, and that can be on anything. I mean, in the mastermind all kinds of stuff comes up, and also you're working with other coaches. You're working with other professionals, so the best help out of that group doesn't come from me. It's a proper mastermind, because I mean I understand tech, but I'm not I understand a small piece of this, but there's a lot of things that come up. I mean, I think that running a business is one of the most profound spiritual experiences you can have, because you get triggered all the time. Okay, money stuff, business stuff, client stuff, people stuff, tech stuff, all the time. And you have an opportunity to then use your processes and your systems and your tool set to be able to navigate that. And then you're in a community with other people that are all subject matter experts in their specific disciplines. So it's pretty cool.